Okay, so not to waste our time, like I said when we started some minutes ago, that the essence of our retreats, it's so that we can retreat. I mean, just take a moment and think about the path we're taking, think about our goals, think about whether what we are doing will get us to where we are going. So just like in the military, every military leader understand the importance of retreats, understand the importance of strategy, understand the importance of reinventing yourself along the way, because the truth is that no strategy is the perfect strategy. The perfect strategy is built while on the journey. So even though we have a plan for our lives, even though we are trying to make the best of every day of our lives, there's a need to constantly reevaluate whether we are doing the best thing and doing the right thing that will still get us to where we are going. Because the truth is that our environment is changing, society is changing, and we also ought to be adapting to the changes. So in addition to what I've said, Leaders Coven is brought up to build leaders, to build the next generation of leaders. That's we, all of us. We are the next generation of leaders. And there's no leader without training. What makes you a leader is that you have been trained to be a leader. You have been trained to lead. And you know the knowledge, you know the skills of leadership. And, we started last year, October last year, we started with confidence and leadership, leading with confidence. In December, we did demystifying, refocusing for maximum impact. I think one of these we should do a quiz. If you can remember one of the topics from, I know there are some people here that have been with us since early days. Yes. Maybe one of these, if you can remember all of the topics you've done, maybe there'll be a fantastic prize for you. Who knows? So December we did refocusing for maximum impact, where we analyze our plans for the year and strategize, the cost, the nitty-gritty details that will take us from where we are to where we are going, and also the systems we can put in place to ensure that we don't lose track of our goals. In January, which was just last month, we talked about identity, which is the fundamental thing. The fundamental element of our life is our identity. It determines our trajectory in life, determines our level of success, it determines our outcomes. So there's nothing without discussing identity. So we analyze what identity is. A lot of people were there, and I'm hoping that tonight will be as hot as last week. Yeah, and I also believe that many people will be joining us along the line. So tonight, we're talking about building life on strong relationship. And like I said, it's a conversation. Tonight is not a lecture. Nobody's here to lecture us. We have a guest speaker who I will be inviting very soon, but nobody is a guest speaker here. All of us here are contributors. I recognize Olowo Kamiye, who just joined. Oyelade, Niji, Aderomu, I recognize you. Precious Baba today. Good evening. Isaac Aderemi, good evening. Who else haven't I greeted before we kickstart fully? Abigail Oluwaremi, how are you? Good evening. Good to see you. So because of time, we'll just dive right into it. So the structure we'll use tonight is very simple. We have a topic, which is building life on strong relationship. And the truth is that each and every one of us each person has a perspective to this thing. What is relationship? What is friendship? How do you build life on? How do you strategize on relationship? How do you build a network of people that support you towards a destiny? So the first thing is for us to, we'll get each of us opinion, right? Then our speaker will give his unique perspective, because he's our speaker. He's one of the people that have accomplished a lot in this area of life. He will give his unique perspective, and then we'll progress from several aspects of this topic to the other. So let me first start with introducing our speaker. Our guest speaker is not our lecturer, is just our guest speaker for tonight is Olowo Kamiye. So I'll open the floor to him to give us a short bio of who's Kamiye, the guy over the internet, the guy just making things happen all over the world. So Kamiye, you have the floor. We want to know who you are, what do you do, and what inspires you in our meeting tonight?
All right. Good evening, everybody. Bolu, can you hear me?
Absolutely.
All right. Good evening, everybody. Good evening, Bolu. and thank you so much for this opportunity. I'm actually very excited to be having a conversation as regards relationships. So, for a little introduction about myself, like Bola has said earlier, my name is Olowo Kamiye. I'm currently a core member serving in Oyo State, and I'm the founder of a personal development community called A Better You. So, to answer your question of what drives me, basically, right from my teenage years, I've always been someone who is very, very particular about people. Anywhere you see people gathered, anywhere you see people doing things to make their lives better, I've always been there. So I've spent the last 3 to 4 years of my life trying to navigate around public speaking, leadership, and community building. So that's just a little explanation about myself. I hope I was audible.
Yeah, absolutely. That's fantastic. Thank
Thank
you
you.
very much. Thank you very much. It's good to have you here. Thank you for honoring our invitation. Thank you for choosing to help us do this. Thank you very much, Kamiye. I really appreciate it. So straight right into it. What is relationship? So I want us to maybe make it a little personal. So the question is that what was relationship like for you growing up? So I want everybody to contribute. Then I'll invite Kamiye to also add his thoughts. For me, I can remember when I was smaller, I was very shy. I think the more I grew, the more less shy I've become. But I can remember I was very, very shy. I'm one of the shy guys in class. I'll just stay there, just be on my own. I don't want trouble. But as I grew up, I grew older and grew older. I realized there's a need to just meet people. There's a need to talk to people. There's a need. In fact, teachers will call you to talk. So for me, relationship literally was like initially was about having people that are with me when I want to play, having people that are with me when I want to read, having people that are with me when I want to maybe have a celebration. People that will reach out to me, and secondary school now, you always want some friends to at least be there for you. But as I grew older and older, maybe university days now, and I began to realize the essence of life, what life could be, the responsibility that is attached to life. I discovered that friendship has to be, or relationship has to be more than just the good times. We also need friendships for the bad times. So I know that there was times I was facing severe challenges, and I didn't really have anybody. I didn't really have many people. So I began to reassess how I build relationship and the kind of friends I attract, and who are the kind of people I call my friends, and how long are they going to stay? What are they actually staying for? Why are they my friends? Why are they close to me? So these are the questions I ask myself. But even as I leave secondary school, I still leave university, I still realize that there's a lot I want to do in life. I can't do it alone. I need people that are not just there for me in bad times. They're also like support system for me to get where I'm going. I need people to support me in my vision. I need people to help me get what I can't get by myself. So relationships come in diverse form and diverse manner, and it comes in diverse systems. Look at it. They are mentors, they are your friends, and you have your mentees, and each and every set of people have their own contribution. So I want to ask you, what was relationship like for you growing up? So let me call John. Randomly, just raise your hand so that to be very organized. Raise your hand so that I can call you to contribute. What was relation like for you? Like, did you have it all perfectly? Are you the most friendly person in the world? Do you have all the friends you want? Are you alone? What are the challenges you face in relationship? And what is the definition of relationship, friendship for you? Oh yeah, John. I'll start with John.
Thank you for the floor. Personally, growing up, I think I'm very shy. I'm not outspoken. Even till now, I'm not shy. Yes, I'm not shy, but I'm not outspoken. I'm growing up. I tend to keep things to myself. But right now, I define relationship as people um, connected together um, for an aim. Actually, I kind of uh, the common ground that brought them together. Yeah, people brought together by common ground. It can be a name, it can be to pursue a definite goal, it can be pleasure. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Sorry, I think this network was breaking a little bit. So what John said literally was that people connected together, like on a common ground. Yeah, that's good. That's good. That's good. But it's that way of theory in it. So I want someone that will help us. Tell us a little bit about what relationship was like for you. Who wants to go for us? Okay, can you hear me very well? Is my network breaking as well?
I hear you. I hear you from my end.
Oh yeah, who wants to contribute before we move on? What was relationship like for you? Both casual relationship, platonic relationship, romantic relationship. Maybe we shouldn't even go to romantic because that one has a lot. But literally, what was relationship like for you growing up till now? Who is the leader that wants to speak next? We have leaders on this call, please. Please. Can you just unmute yourself and give your contribution?
Yeah, go for it. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Good evening, everybody. Yeah, okay. So I think I resonated so much with your story. Can you hear me, please?
Absolutely. We can hear you clearly.
Okay. So growing up too, I wasn't that outgoing person. I don't like mixing with a lot of people. I'm reserved. But what I noticed was the moment I have one friend like this, I hold on dear to them because I'm not going to get so many friends. So I think it affected that relationship. It affected my relationship then because I held on too much to people like this is my friend. You must not go. I was hold on to you. So that my relationship with me then was, yeah, it was not the best too, but I didn't have many friends, and the few one I had then I held on dear to them. So, but growing up now, I now understand that relationship doesn't have to be people that you maybe your kind of people. I don't know how to put that well. It doesn't have to be people that you have like for like. Everything is perfect between the two of you. You might even have differences, but once you are aligned to the same goal, you can see where you can find out to, is it now back down to make sure that everything works out well. And in the sense that if you have a friend now that you don't have the same belief system, but that friend is going to help you achieve something. There's a way you can still kind of cut down and see how you two can work together and make sure that goal is fulfilled. Yeah, thank you.
Well, thank you very much, Bukumi. Thank you very, very much. So for you, it's like you hold on to people when you discover how valuable they are to you and to helping you grow and achieve your goals. That's very, very lovely. So John said common ground. That's very, very fantastic. Is there another person before we move on? Who else wants to tell us? Yeah, go ahead. Good evening.
Good evening. Yes,
Yeah, good
actually
evening.
for me, I think, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay, yes. Actually, for me, I think I'm a little reserved normally. So the way I see things, I don't see myself having much friends and the rest like that. But looking back, I think relationship has been interesting to me because even right from my primary school days, I had like best friend. I have people I share and be vulnerable with, people I share thoughts and we tackle problems together. Moving to secondary school too, I was lucky to have friends too that we did everything, share opinions, view things in our way and the rest like that. So though those friends, they were not much, or they were like maybe 2 or 3 like that, but they were so amazing, and relationship in the past has actually been amazing. Though there were not many, but I think I've been lucky regarding relationship.
Very powerful. Thank you very much, Shegun. So before I call on Kamiye, so one of the challenges I've observed in Nigeria, maybe I've not traveled a lot, but maybe for my context in Nigeria, I've found out that that many of us have people around us, but not so many people really know how to build friendship. Like there's one thing that there are people you call friends, But there's another thing that you've built friendship. That is, you two agree that we are close friends, we are good friends, we are committed friends. Some people call it covenant friends. That is a level of friendship that will not go away even when you are going through the toughest challenges in life, because the two of you have committed to one another. I think most of the things we do is just assume. I want to assume that Kamiye is my friend. So, and Kamiye can be busy with his life, trying to juggle a lot of things together. But my mind, we are friends. So I now get disappointed when I need his help and he's not showing up, or I'm going through something, he's not even supporting. So I think most of the time we build a lot of assumptions on what friendship is. So let me call on Kamiye to add his thought on what friendship is, what was your own experience growing up and building a relationship with people, and how do we build friendship literally. Kamiye, do you want to speak to that? Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. I think I have similar responses with everybody. Mine is just let me say, growing up from the age of about 9, because that's how well I can remember. As a pastor's child, we attended a big Redeemed church. So by virtue of the kind of upbringing I had and the kind of interest that I also had as a person, because I was always wanting to be with the mic, I had quite a number of people that were around me. And I think that's where the balance comes in, right? It's one thing to have a lot of people around you, and then it's another thing to have relationships with these people. So all throughout my secondary school life, like I said, from the period of when I was 9 till maybe when I entered university, I just had people from church, I had people from school, and I had people that were in my area. But then it was until 2020, that was during the COVID-19 period, where I couldn't even travel home. I was stuck in Ibadan, and I had the relationships and friendship that I mentioned. These people were in Port Harcourt, and I was with my phone. I know we cannot remember how COVID-19 was if everybody were isolated, right? So I remember going through my phone on different days, and I'm like, I actually do not have anybody that I can reach out to for support. Whereas I had like a large contact. I had all of my classmates. And that was when I realized that much of the things that I had done all throughout my childhood and all of the experiences I had were just people that were around me by circumstance, by chance, by virtue of the fact that we had something in common. So after understanding that, and I had to give myself the responsibility that I have to rebrand my entire WhatsApp list. I have to rebrand the amount of people that I relate with. And that's when I got to the understanding of what a relationship is. And if I'm to explain what relationship is, I feel relationship is a commitment between two people that they have something. Or let me paraphrase. A relationship is like an ongoing interaction between two people who have shared values. So I realized all of the people around me were people I could relate with, but we didn't have similar values that gave me the opportunity to say I could depend on. I don't know if you get that. So most of the major relationships that I started working with or that I had stemmed from after COVID-19. I became very, 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 very intentional. I had to ask myself, are these people on my WhatsApp? Can I actually reach out to them for help? And if I publicly make like a claim or post on my WhatsApp status that I need help, are these people that can turn out for me, or are these people that I just know? So that understanding brought in the difference, and I now became very, very, very intentional about trying to build relationships. I don't know if I answered the question.
Man, you answered the question. You answered the question. I mean, that was a lot from your story, because I could remember 2020 was also a low point for me. The many of us were just stuck at home. And if you grew up in like my kind of family, once you're at home, my dad doesn't give you money. All this allowance you collect in school. When I'm at home, nothing to come. So I was here. I wanted to learn a test skill. I used all my savings. I finished up my savings. It was like almost 1 year coronavirus. I finished up my savings. I was like, where do I need money from? Where do I get money from? All of this thing. It was very low point for me. Like my mind was messed up. Like all my plans, everything just went inside the ocean. But I could relate with you with the fact that when this guy, one of the leaders of Great Britain said something. He said, it is in bad weather that we understand the value of friendship. That is, it is those who show up for us in bad weather are the true friends. So your story is a very pivotal one. The fact that your coronavirus, then you know a lot of people, like you said, I know a lot of people, but how many people can I realistically call for help? And that's the game changer. I think that's the difference between those who strategically build relationship and those who just have long contact lists. Thank you very much for that, Kamiye. So following that is another discussion on core values, because you mentioned something around value, when you define relationship. Relationship is ongoing interaction with two people with shared values. And I find that extremely valuable. So before you talk, I want to just call on maybe one or two people to maybe if there is a unique story about you building relationship on shared values. Because the truth is this, many of us, if I'm correct, didn't know anything about value. What's value? What's the meaning of value? What's the meaning of shared values? Just imagine secondary school life and all this boyfriend, girlfriend, we're just having a good time. Who cares about value? Like, okay, is the guy good? Is the girl beautiful? That's what to be in your mind. And you obviously have your set of guys. Maybe you guys just love football, so you hang around together, or love this game, so you come together for this. But there's no a reasoning point of, are we having common values? Are we connecting on the same ground? And I think that's very, very important. So okay, so let me call on. Should I randomly call someone wants to speak about what's the understanding of values and how does he help us build strong relationship? Before I will invite Kamiye to speak, anyone, you can share from your experience, because I know we have a lot of wise people on this call, so we want to learn what's value, what's the value, and how do we use value system, common values to build strong relationship. Where I want to go forward. So please now, we want to learn from everyone. So who wants to share with us? You can raise up your hand, you can mute your mic, you can just add your point of view. Yeah, go for it, Damilare.
Okay, yeah, thank you for the opportunity to speak. Please, am I audible?
Yeah, you are very audible.
Okay, so yeah, for me, I for friendship and then aligning on values, I would say you first have to first define what your own value is as a person. That's the only way you can align with someone else. And then, of course, they say iron sharpens iron. And it's true in the Bible. So for me, I believe that if you have goals, you have things that you want to achieve yourself, if just you aligning with someone who has similar vision, because it's really about really working with you and then who are those around you that are moving to achieve your own goals. For someone like me, compared to someone else on the call, we might have different goals, which means that our values in the context might be different. While there are of course general values like excellence and some other things that they are still somewhat general to what people want to achieve. But of course there are some other specific values that for some levels that you want to reach, you have to like really look for people who actually have these things, and then you see people that are going to be your friend. And then sometimes it's not even only now both of you have those values. It might be you seeing someone who has some of these things and doesn't have some, because you can feel that okay, I can help this person also grow in this other aspect, while I also have this other aspect. And then also learn this thing from this person. And then that way everyone picks from themselves and everyone grows from it. So my point is, when it comes to values, is context specific. It means that it depends on what you want to achieve as a person or what the other person wants to achieve. And then sometimes it's not both having that same value. It basically be you trying to improve that what that person doesn't have in it, and then getting from that person to that person has what I need and going from there. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Such an insightful contribution. So you said the first thing is to define what your own values are, and values are also connected to context. That is, in this area of life where you want to build relationship, what are the relevant values? So that sets expectation. Wow, that's very lovely. I can remember, for me, like I drew a lot of insights from my experience on campus. I can remember, I had good friends. I had some friends on campus, and I knew that one of the reasons they were connected to me was because obviously I find it like God helped me on campus with academics. So definitely I have people that want to make me teach them something, help me. Like I literally have friends that want me to put them through academics. So I understand that, okay, this is the context of our relationship. But I think there's more to that. There's more to that. And the more to it is having a core, like having people that are actually close to you. Like what Kamiye was saying, that people that you can realistically call on when you need help. I mean, when everything goes down, who do you reach out to? So let me welcome Kamiye to maybe also add more light to it. How have you done this over the years, since 2020 now, that you've realized a change of events, and what does it mean for you approaching relation based on value and building relation from a value standpoint? Kamiye, would you love to speak? Thank you.
All right. When it comes to values, I think that's the major line that I usually use to like differentiate the people that I spend time with and the people that I just have around. Because like I shared in the earlier question, there are some people that you just have around you by virtue of circumstance, like your neighbor at your lodge, your departmental mate, your church member, right? But then deep down, I know what I want for myself. And there's this popular saying that you need to surround yourself with people who are living the life that you desire, or people who are in the same life of what you do. So that automatically brings in the idea that my values the people I hang out with should even have more of the values that I want. So one of the value that I have, and I have vocally communicated, is growth, right? As a matter of fact, I even find it very difficult to keep a normal conversation with somebody I'm just meeting for the first time if I notice that you do not have any plan to become better than you are. And I'm not even saying this from the perspective of we all have to be serious, we all have to be up and doing, read books and all of that. But if I can easily sense from your interaction, you don't necessarily have to tell me, if I can easily sense that you're very complacent and you don't really care about stepping up, it becomes very, very difficult for me to keep you around. And that's on the whole context of growth. So I'm a growth-driven person. As a matter of fact, I believe my tomorrow self should be better than today. So I always try to relate with people that also think like that. And the second of the most important values that I have is the person's faith with God. And I think this is very, very important, because I can see you as somebody who is growth-driven. But then if our opinions on God's word, our opinion on religion, Christianity do not align, automatically just try to stay away, even if you're growth driven. So I have quite a number of values. One of them, like I said, is my faith walk. Another one is my growth journey. Another one is contribution. And of recent, this has been like the easiest way to actually build a good network. To be of contribution, to actually contribute to the society. Now, last year, I conducted a social impact initiative. And, when you do something like that, when you want to try to help the society, or you go on a big project, you begin to see a lot of people that they come around and you're like, hey, come here, I'd love to support you. I'd love to be around. I'd love to do this. How about we step this up? Now, these are my kind of people. So once I see that you already have an innate desire to do something for the world other than yourself, once I see that your motivation for whatever you do is bigger than yourself, it becomes a lot easier. So automatically, when I'm in a space, whenever I have a new contact, from your WhatsApp status or from what you say in our conversations, it can be very easy for me to know whether this is a friendship that I should nurture or this is somebody that I should just leave on the sideline. And to be very honest, I even try to ensure that I don't even save the WhatsApp number, because there are some certain things you begin to see from the people you keep around that begins to affect yourself. So to give a summary of what I've shared, my values are like I don't know the word now. They help me say no to friendships. They help me also say yes. And the three most important one is you must be growth driven. Your opinions on God's word, your faith, your religion, and everything has to be solid. And you must have a heart for something that is bigger than you. So over the last 3 to 4 years, these three major values that I have, I always try to look for it in people and keep them close. And for people who I've gone ahead of, like probably undergraduates now, I try to instill it in them so that we can also still stay together. So my values have been very, very, very pivotal in the amount of people I have around.
Wow. Thank you very much. You see, the truth is that any intentional person takes time to audit their life. And auditing means that we look at what is working and look at what's not working. Right? Like, the truth is that not all contacts are relevant. Not all contacts are really valuable, and not all contacts add up. So audit is looking at it. What are we removing and what are we remaining? Thank you very much for that. So, Kamiye, I got your point very well. 3 important values for you are growth, faith in God, and contribution. And these are the things you are looking out for in the person you are meeting, to understand that, okay, are we aligned on these core non-negotiable values that will determine whether the person will be an acquaintance or a close associate. I mean, that's very pivotal. That's very, very insightful. So maybe I should also share a bit of mine. I think for me, number one core value is commitment, like relationship with God. Relationship with God, because this is the truth. I don't want to keep an enemy. I don't want to keep someone that will stab me, because I've experienced people literally stab me. People I trust, and they break my heart. And there's difference between you are in a relationship with someone that the person break your heart, and someone you trust and literally hurts you intentionally. That breaks your heart. That shatters. In fact, it almost destroys your mental health. So I'm very careful to be sure that the fundamental principles that guide human behavior are clearly understood. The principles that guide the truth is that everybody functions from their thought process. There's no action that is not first thought about. If someone will lie tomorrow, the person have thought about it. A thought has come to your mind and you've accepted that lying is a possibility before you ever lie. If someone will steal tomorrow, you accepted that reality in your mind before you steal in the reality. So our thoughts govern our life. So the first thing I want to check from a friend of mine is the thought process. Is it aligning with the right principles? And that comes down to faith in God. That comes down to believing that God is the supreme. God is the order of our life. God is the creator, and we are submitted to God. So I want to be sure. What is your belief in God? Are you submitted to God? And what are the values you operate by? So once that is ticked, then we cannot talk about having a vision. For me, like it's one thing to stay alive. It's another thing to have something you are up to every day. There's something you are on to. It's not just going to work and coming back. Like, you have a plan for your life. There's something you are targeting. I know that those kind of people are full with energy. When you meet them, you literally get on fire. I have friends like that whenever we talk like this, first is that it is long. Second is that nobody returns the same. Our brain just busts in like, no. We can't be small. We can't be small. So those two values are the most prime for me, and thank you for that. So now I said something the other time as one of the things I've observed in Nigeria, and I will also ask people to contribute to this. I observed that many of us keep people around, yes, like Kamiye said, but we don't really build friendship. And this it shows is when you really need help. Now, some people need help, and they are not people they can call. Like, call this. Can you help me with this? Like that's the essence of friendship. That's the essence of building relationship. The essence of building relationship is like building bridges so that we can find paths back to help. Like so that we can connect to help. That's the way I see it. But the truth is that not so many people are intentional about this. And I found that as a great challenge in the community. So I want to ask a few people. I don't want to call names, but if I call your name, don't feel bad. I'm not trying to point at you. What I'm trying to understand is this. For you, how do you build friendship? Look, just imagine you meet me today and you want me to be your friend. How do you think that friendship goes? Like, how does it go from level A to level B to level C? What are the things you put in? And how do you ensure you get to that level of, let me say, strong friendship? Because it's about building life on strong relationship. There's relationship, there's good relationship, there's okay relationship, there's a strong relationship. So for you, over the years, how do you do it? Dennis, do you want to say something about that? Then maybe one more person also add comments.
Sorry, but did you call my name?
Yeah, do you have something to add on that?
On building relationships.
Did you get my question very well?
Can you hear me?
Dennis, did you hear me very well?
Yeah, please come again. I didn't get that clearly.
Okay, what I was saying is that for you, meeting a person for the first time, and this is a person you want to build a relationship with, what do you do to ensure that the relationship progresses from acquaintance, like you meeting for the first time, to good relationship that is, you've known each other to an extent and their level of commitment, and then to great strong relationship where you can literally call on this person when you need help? What are the things that get the relationship from level A to level C? Well, like for you, are there things you put in place to ensure that?
And to be honest, not really. Just let it flow naturally. Like there are things I just notice, how I put it, unplanned, or would I say without notice. So it's just like, oh, if values align, then it's yes. But if not, for example, let's say I like sports, so I meet someone and like, okay, this person likes playing a lot of sports. I know it aligns with my values for wanting to play sports, even though I may not necessarily have as much time to play as much as I would want. So automatically, I've just been kind of like, okay, yeah, this person has this, and it's kind of a driving force because, like you said, you are what you surround yourself with. So yeah, that's just basically. But I've not put in systems in place consciously for this, so I just do it subconsciously.
Wow, thank you very much for that. And that's one of the reasons we're having this call. Because the truth is that that's what I said the other time, that oftentimes many of us just assume that relationships get better over time, which is not true. If you plant a tree, it's not a guarantee that the tree will grow. If you don't water it, if you don't put fertilizer, if you don't guard it, protect it, put insecticide, the tree may not survive the next 5 years, 10 years. So definitely, even though we may not have paid attention to this, there are things great men do to build good relationship. So I want to ask one, who wants to share with us? How have you done it over the years, and what works for you? Before I call on Kamiye to add his unique insights to this, who wants to share with us? How do you build your relationship over the years?
Okay, all right, good evening. Okay.
Yeah, good evening.
Yeah, I think something that I feel like help relationship a lot is communication. Picture this scenario. Maybe it has happened to you. You have a very good friend. During the semester, everything is going well. We are reaching out to each other. But just notice, maybe you go on for a very long holiday. Just notice that for like 2 months, you have not spoken to that so-called friend. So communication, I think a lot of people have said this, having shared interest, something that brings you always together. I think that's one of the catalysts of building strong relationship. Yeah.
Wow, thank you very much,
Bukumi.
Thank you very, very much, Bukumi. I hope you finished your word before I cut you.
Yes, I did.
Okay, thank you. Shegu, you wanted to ask something. You have the floor now.
Yes, sir. Actually, for me, PD relationship, I think, is actually based on two things. Like relationship that you like both parties to be committed to each other. It's based on two things for me, which is like value and emotional aspect of it. Most of us we actually emphasize on adding value, but we neglect the emotional aspect. The emotional aspect has to be there. Like I prioritize the emotional aspect even more than the value. But at the meeting the person, I will look for different ways in which I can be of value. So after being of value, like I can't always be adding value every time. So that's when the emotional aspect comes in. So once in a while, I will just message that person that I was thinking of you. How are you doing today? Have a great week. And little messages like that. It do some things up emotionally. Even apart from the fact that you're adding value. So I do it from 2 points. Add value and make sure that you build emotional connection. It's the emotional connection that will even water your value more. So that's my perspective about that.
Wow, thank you very much. Shegu will be a great lover guy. The emotional aspect of it. I've been thinking about you today. How are you? When the lady just sees that, you've been thinking about me. Oh my god. Amazing. Thank you very much for that. Who else wants to add? Who else wants to share with us? What has worked for you as regard building, like taking relationship from acquaintance to strong relationship? People you can literally call on when you need help, and you are very sure that this person will be there for you. What has worked for you? Can you share with us in a moment? Where else? Okay, so I'll just add a little bit of. Okay, go ahead. Tell me, go ahead. You have the floor, tell me.
Hello.
Yeah, good evening. Oh, you are very audible.
Yeah. So for me, at least experientially, I do hear a couple of stuff, but what has worked for me so far is I think as the previous speaker said, commitment. But that commitment should be, I think we should shed more light on it, because I can look at my journey in some areas, and it was when I met some people, right? And it was like an infancy level. Maybe I was just getting into something, and by the virtue of my commitment and communication in my progress, you understand? For instance, now you show me something, and I was like, oh, I looked at it. This was what I did. What do you think? Then some of us begin to see prospects, you understand? Like, and especially, I think the last Leaders Coven, I spoke about my IT supervisor. This is like 2024, and me and the man are still tight today. And it's just due to the fact that he just opened my eyes to something, and he saw that I was willing, and we're still communicating. He still shares me stuff, like, because he are still saying that, oh, you can still do this, continue, you understand? So I can say that link up has really, really worked out for me. And not just in that sphere, in other areas, especially if you want to be strategic. So you can just have this feedback, commitment, and you yourself, you're also like linking up, as our previous speaker said, emotionally, like checking up on people and all of that. So that has worked for me so far. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, David. Thank you very much. So let me just invite Kamiye to add his unique insight on this. What are the things that have worked for you over the years in taking relationship from level 0 acquaintance, like first contact, to strong, where you guys know each other well enough, you support each other 100%, and you are there for each other even in times of need? So how do you do that practically? And
all right, thank you. First off, one mindset I usually say whenever it comes to networking with people, whenever it comes to friendships, because I can't give you a practical framework that would work with everybody. That's because we are all different. That is one truth that I usually share whenever I'm opportunity to talk about relationships. But one thing I usually say is that the right mindset would empower you to know how best to work with anybody and build a friendship. So last year I read a quote, and that quote has been driving. As a matter of fact, it's also the reason why, even without stress, I've been able to have a lot of friends for my NYC journey without doing so much. And this is it. He said the easiest way to turn an acquaintance to a friend is to become emotionally invested in their success. Now, that's a statement that whenever I put it at the back of my mind, it just gives me an idea on how best to relate with anybody I meet. So now I'll break it down and I'll share a practical story. So, okay, this is 2026. Last year, around April, while I was moving into project management, I was looking for opportunities. I was basically looking for a job, a project management job. All of the things I'd done were volunteering, right? So I saw a job opening on LinkedIn. I instantly messaged the person. I didn't even have the qualification. I think they were saying you must have about 10 years of experience in project management. I didn't. I sent an application to the person, and then the person replied to me on LinkedIn. He sent me his phone number and was like, send me a message here. And I was like, is this how it works on LinkedIn? I sent him a message. Apparently, it was not a job offer, but what he was trying to do was he was trying to build a community of project managers that whenever he sees a job opportunity, he will share. And long story short, they did a voting. Everybody had to do this manifesto, whatever it is that they had to do. And in the space of 24 hours, I became the manager of this community of about 30 people. Now, that's not even where I'm going. So within the space of 48 hours, he had added me to a group, and I had to work closely with his virtual assistant. So when she introduced me into the group, we were totally strangers, right? I just introduced myself. I said, hello, I'm Kamiye. I am a recent graduate from FUTA, and I'd really love to learn about project management. And she responded with, hello, I am Dami. I'm currently in my final year. She told me her course. And she gave this, when somebody introduces herself and is giving the vibe of stay your lane, stay my lane. And I wasn't even necessarily even trying to cross my lane. But I mean, it would be good if we have a good rapport to the fact that we are going to be working together. And then all of a sudden, I was her lead. I had to delegate and everything. And I knew this delegation and everything that I'll have to do would not be fair if we just see ourselves as strangers. So 3 weeks in, I noticed it was her birthday. And you know what I did? I asked for her mail for something else, and I sent her a birthday mail. Now, there was nothing special in this mail, but then this mail was on the principle of one thing I learned about people, and is that people respond best to three things. The first one is care, love, and attention. Sorry, the first one is care, the second one is value, and the third one is attention. People respond to these three things. And if you want to win anybody to your side, you just have to find your strategic blueprint on how to utilize any of this. You can make anybody become your friend in little time. So I just went to her LinkedIn. I probably saw what she did about 3 weeks ago. I wrote, happy birthday, Dami. It's been 3 weeks of working with you, but from your work with your boss, I can see your commitment to all of the things that you do, and I wish you a great year. Now, I just sent that because I have this special trait of trying to do very random things to my friend to still solidify the friendship I have with them. So I just did that for her. Let me just win her over. Immediately, she responded. Now, her response to that mail was even longer than what I said. Oh, Kamiye, thank you so much. It's just 3 weeks that you've known me. How come you're sending me a mail and blah, blah, blah? I was like, I just thought to do something out of the blues. And I can say that within about 3 to 4 weeks of working to her, she had already seen me different as the Kamiye that was just team lead on the group. And then it felt like I'd climbed a couple of steps on the friendship ladder. Or different, she posted something on her WhatsApp. I replied, I was like, okay, wow, I just added to one of her thoughts that she shared on her WhatsApp status. I was like, wow, that's really insightful. This is what I think about the matter. We had a conversation. I think she sent a voice note. I was like, okay, now we are now friends, right? Along the line, I noticed she was going for this YMR program that's hosted by P. Daniel. And I was like, I'll be going there, let's meet. And then we met. And if anybody had seen us when we saw physically, you'd have thought we had like this 5 years rapport. But then I became very, very, very intentional about wanting to build that relationship by prioritizing one thing that so many people do not do, and that is follow up. Trying to go out of the extra mile to let the other person know that you are intentional about that friendship. Now, this is the beautiful part about this friendship that I'm talking about. In the space of about 6 months, there's a guest that I'll be inviting for my community that's later in March. She actually had to send that, because she's the executive assistant to that guest, sent him a personal message, convinced him on why he should accept my invitation to come to my community. And in my head, I'm like, what have I done that gave her the impression that she can even put in a word for me? Because I thought, we're just meeting. But then she had done something as heavy as that. I organized 3 different fundraisers in about 6 months, and she sent money. I organized a workshop, and then she was like, Kamiye, I'd really love to support this thing that you are doing. Let me pay for 2 people's tickets. I think 1 week later, I reached out to her. I said, I can see that you're building on LinkedIn. This is a video that I saw on LinkedIn. This is something that would help you. If you want to share your next LinkedIn post, you can send it to me. I can help you refurbish it. And then, you see, different ways that I was able to strategically show 3 things solidified that friendship. One of which was care. And there's so many ways you can show people care. And I think the most easiest of them all is to be present, is to give people a sense of love. And it doesn't even necessarily have to be romantic, right? I showed her care through the mail I sent. I showed, okay, wow, I'm special, right? On different intervals, whenever her name crosses my mind, I'm like, probably, and this is something that I actually even did strategically. Probably maybe I want to ask her to do something in 2 days' time, and I just send her a message, and I'm like, damn it, how far? How's final year going? And all of that. It's like, final year is good. You see, all of these extra steps of intentionality that I did showed a very high level percentage of care, and it made every other conversation that we had very easy. So the next of which was value. And to answer the question of, I don't necessarily have to be, to be very honest, if you always come to my DM with value, I can begin to interpret you as someone that is transactional, because you heard in a book that the easiest way to build a relationship is to be value driven. So you are saying, come here, this book will help you. Come here. But automatically, you're already selling yourself off. So I keep one thing I always usually say, and has worked for all of the friendships that I have, is that if you have something that you are doing for yourself that is valuable, it becomes a lot easier for you to build friendships and sustain them. That is the truth of the matter. And it takes away the burden of you trying to always be the person who is constantly reaching out. Most of the friends that I have and that I still sustain today, we have conversations because I'm not an idle person. They are not also idle. So there are so many ways that I can usually just come in and check in. And that's why I was telling some undergraduates some days back that the fact that you're in university is a leverage, because it gives you the opportunity to sustain all of these friendships that you have around yourselves without doing so much. Now, for someone like Bolu, now I can just randomly meet him inside Short and then we talk. Or I randomly meet him at church and then we talk. The friendship or relationship that we have is still sustained without any effort from both parties, because we're in the same environment. But by the time you leave university, if you don't have anything to do, or if you don't have anything that you are doing, you begin to see keeping all of these relationships as a chore, because you now have to say, I have to reach out though, so that they don't say this is that, this is that, this is that. So I made mention of 3 things that I put at the back of my mind. The first one is care. Yeah. The second one is value. And the third one now is attention. Attention. And there's something I did on my WhatsApp status for the last graduating students of, that's class 24, right? By the time I was leaving university, I had a lot of people that were in lower levels, where I was always just giving them all of this friendly advice. Life after school is like this. But then I still found different ways to keep them in touch. So this is what I did. On the day of their convocation, every single person that I had like a very solid relationship with, I posted them on my WhatsApp status, and I went the extra mile to write a caption, right? And that's why most times when I see some certain people post on their WhatsApp status, you're trying to celebrate your friend, and you're just writing HBD, happy birthday, wish you long life, wish you. Now, I understand the kind of friendships you keep and people don't understand. But for me, there's this level of attention that you give to some certain people that at the back of their mind, they know that Kamiye really values me. And whether or not, if we don't talk for a year or we don't even talk for 6 months, our friendship is still there. So I remember taking time to write about all of these things that these people that I have with these people. I posted it on my WhatsApp. A lot of them, they were sharing. Thank you so much, Kamiye. And I gave them that attention. I gave them the spotlight. Because the truth is, everybody wants to be seen. Another way I usually also try to do this is that I try to talk about my friends in the front of other friends. I'm like, you need to meet this guy. I'm just trying to ensure that you see these 3 principles that people respond better to. That's care, value, and attention. I try to find different ways to infuse it. So when I have that mindset, it becomes very, very, very natural for me to like keep in touch with people. Now, I don't know if we know Oladotun Ajayi. So I don't know if anybody knows Oladotun Ajayi. Now he was the convener of LinkedIn Local Nigeria. Now, anybody that sees the kind of relationship I have with him will think we are very close friends. Whereas we talk probably maybe just once in 2 months. But one of the ways that I've tried my best to ensure that relationship is still active is, first off, I took the bold step. I was like, let me invite him to come and speak to my community. Now, the very fact that he accepts that has solidified a level in the friendship, right? Automatically, he knows what I do. He knows my kind of person. For him to even say yes to an invitation, it means, okay, yes, he knows Kamiye and we have similar values. So after what he spoke, I sent him a message. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for all of this. And I told him this. I said, I can see that you have a brand or an organization that's Evolve Africa that you're working with. And for your next project, I'm very, very, very good with raising funds or when it comes to partnerships and every other thing. So if there's a vacancy or if you need my support or assistance in any of this way, I'll be glad to help. Because I see that if I'm going to sustain this friendship, it has to be mutual. So the understanding of all of this makes it very, very easy for me to build and maintain any relationship. So care, value, and attention. So I just find things to become interested in people's success and always stay. So that's like my little thoughts on what makes me keep most of the most relevant relationships around.
Wow.
I don't know if that should have answered your question.
A lot, man. My agenda is full already. You said a lot of things that actually caught my attention. Number one is that the easiest way to turn an acquaintance to a friend is to become emotionally invested in their success. That's just mind-blowing. Just mind-blowing. So the way I can turn someone from an acquaintance, like we meet people every day, we meet random. I met people in church today. The way I can turn them to a friend is to be invested in their church. It's not just interested. Interest is different from invest. Invest means that you see something they are interested in, they are passionate about, and you look at what can you do based on your capacity to support. Maybe all you can do to support is just repost their flyer. Maybe all you can do to support is to invite your friends. And the truth is that all of us see this thing. All of us notice this thing, no matter what, because the general population do not do anything. So if anybody is doing anything little, there is no way you not see it. That's so powerful. That's so powerful. A secret to building relationships. You also mentioned around things around people respond to care, value, and attention. And I completely agree with you. People like respond to care, be present, build people, give them a sense of love. But I want to ask a follow-up question to this, because as much as we have sincere people, we also have manipulative people. See, all of the things we said today, someone can weaponize it just to get influence into somebody else's life and then traumatize them. So if I want to ask you, Kamiye, in the midst of all of this, the first thing is that, do you do this? Now, you mentioned the story of a person you did it to, send her an email for her birthday. The question is that, are you consistent in the way you relate with everybody like this? And is there a reason why you want to go the extra mile for someone? Like, I want to be sure that, okay, because the truth is that I won't just, for me, I may not just say, okay, somebody else should do this, because if it doesn't look like who you are, if it doesn't resonate with the kind of person you are, you come off as someone manipulative, insincere, and you will give up at the end of the day. Like, it's not part of who you are. So why do you take this approach? Is there a deeper reason? And do you do that across board? And if not, and if yes, why? Do you want to respond to that, Kamiye?
All right. Thank you. When it comes to relationships, for someone like me now, I'm very, very, very intentional about the people I have around me. It even reflects in how I use my LinkedIn, and that's why I'm really not very, very, really passionate about having a big following on LinkedIn currently, because I still want to, what's the word now? I still want to be able to control the people that I can have access to. So when it comes to your question, there are only a very, very, very limited amount of people that I always try to establish a relationship with. And I read in a book that you shouldn't have more than 5 close friends. Now, that might sound very contradictory, because a lot of people might say you need support, but then you shouldn't really have a very, very robust circle, because that circle will still have a circle, and you would not be able to control, you'll not be able to verify the trust, the kind of support, or whatever it is that you have from these people. I'm not saying you should not have a large circle of friends, but I think wisdom is very profitable enough to let us know that there are some people that we should not allow into our lives. Now, when it comes to people that I usually go the extra mile for, people that I see that beyond what they currently are, they are definitely going to be something very, very valuable to myself. In the long run, relationships are also, you should also be strategic with your relationships, so that people around you can be very, very, very useful. Now, when I went to camp, I was the core camp director in camp, and that gave me access to a long list of people. But then I knew that if I start relating with everybody, start doing all of this knowledge I have on relationships for everybody, I'll just have a backlog of everybody and nobody. I don't know if you get. So most times, once I see somebody and I see that, okay, you'll be really, really great, you'll be really, and I'm not even seeing it from the whole perspective of what's in for me. But then when I see that one way or the other, your success is going to really, really inspire me, I'll keep you close. I'll try to invest in that relationship, and also let you know that as much as I want you to be around, I have what it takes to keep you around. So that's what a lot of people miss out. Right? You try to keep all of these big people around, keep all of these big, responsible people around, and when the time comes for them to meet you, it feels like you're just a parasite, because you're not working on yourself enough. And that's another part of self-development that is really, really important. Now, with the stage I am in my life, I can confidently reach out to anybody and tell them that I want them to be my friend, because I know that they would also get to benefit. It's like I'm telling you, come and be my friend, and also come and be a part of the value that I want. And like you said earlier, some people can be very manipulative. Even me, this information that I've shared, if I want to manipulate, if I want to use it to get into somebody's life or probably something that I want, it is very easy. Even for a romantic relationship, If you start giving
Yeah.
somebody attention for the sake of probably whatever you want from that person, you realize
Yeah.
that it works. So
Mhm.
it all boils down to you telling yourself that this is somebody that I want to keep close, and this
Yeah.
is somebody that is worth the extra effort. You understand? So like the
Yeah.
lady that I had to send a personal mail to ensure that we're friends, right?
Yeah.
First off, I knew it was very, very important that we were friends so that we could work together.
Yeah.
You understand? So that's the major
I
reason why I went the extra mile. And she has been of so much value to me.
Amazing. Amazing. What I picked from that is you have to strategically choose your friends. Like, it's not just about who comes near you, it's about who are you choosing. So once you choose your friends, then you can go overboard to invest in them. You can go overboard to care for them. You can go overboard to show them attention. And at the end of the day, you come out with a great and strong relationship. Well, thank you very much. So we are about rounding off already, and I want to ask Kamiye the last question for tonight. Then I'll open the floor for us to also ask questions, for us to deliberate on some of the things that have been shared tonight. And my question is this: how do we ask for help? Because it's one thing to build relationship, it's another thing some people don't know how to ask for help. Are you with me? Some people don't. Actually, sometimes it's not easy. All you want to do is just add value. But the truth is that, and the balance is that some relationships have not matured for you to ask for help. So if you ask for help at some point, you literally messed up that relationship. And I think I've done that once before, and I regret it. Like, but no, at least I should let this relationship mature to some point before I ask for this help. So so at what stage do you ask for help in the relationship, and how do you ask for it? And then last question is that I just want to merge the two questions together: is how do you strategically expand your circle? Let's say you have two close friends now, you want to make it three. How do you strategically do it? Like, what are the other things you do to help you expand your circle of influence in that area? Thank you.
All right. Okay. I really wanted to go through a list I wrote some times back. But let me see if I can recall. So now, first things first. I read a book by Anthony Robbins. Yes, I think I can't remember the name of the book now. Probably Unlimited Power.
Yeah.
He said something. He said the easiest way to get whatever you want in life is to ask. So the reason why I'm sharing this is so that everybody has the mindset that you cannot get support other than asking. Now, but the difference now is that the people who ask and get and the people who ask and do not get, it just lies in how they ask. And that's why he shared 5 different strategic ways that you can ask intelligently. So now, one of the things that so many people don't do whenever they ask and they get annoyed is that whenever they ask some certain people, they still leave room for guessing. If I'm going to ask you for help now, I'm going to write whatever I'm asking for in such a way that anybody all over this world who reads that request would have the same idea. So if I want to ask you, if I'm doing a fundraising and I need you to give me money, I'm going to specifically ask that you support with your money. That's one thing. So if you're going to ask, the first and most important rule that you have to tell yourself is that you should give no room for what guessing in the mind of the person that is asking. Right? I usually also tell myself that if I don't ask, the answer is usually no. So how about I try? So ask specifically. Hello, I want you to help me reshare on my WhatsApp status. On your WhatsApp status, I'm hosting an event. Hello, I want you to be physically present. Not I want you to be present, or I want you to think about this. I put my ask without any need for you to second guess. So now the other thing I do is that I ask people who can help me. And that is extremely, not everybody can help you. Not everybody has the capacity to give you what you want, even though it feels like they have it. And that's a reality that I'm learning. So if I'm going to ask, I'm really going to actually sit down and make a list of all of the people who are in the right position to actually help me. I'll make a list. After I make my list, I still sit down with that list and say, okay, this is still 50-50. This person has the money. This person has the capacity. This person has this. Right? Another thing that I usually do whenever I try to ask for help is that I create value for the person I'm asking. And that's something that has really, really, really helped me. When I was starting my community and I needed a design, I didn't have the money to pay a designer. I didn't have any. But then I had to reach out to one of my friends who is an excellent designer. I was like, okay, currently I don't have money to pay you for a design. But this is what I have. I have time. And if there's any goal that you have for a month, I can keep you accountable to that goal. Check in. We review that goals. We make it smart. We make space for this design. You understand? So I created value for him. And the next response I got was, all right, let me think about it. He didn't even take so much time to think about it. He just responded. He was like, okay, send me the details, right? You keep me accountable. Right? I created value for what the person who can help me, right? And the last one that so many people do not put in place is that they do not ask confidently. They do not ask confidently. And that's where the whole idea of being audacious as regards whatever it is that you do saves you some time and creates success. If I come to your DM and I ask you for something bold, it automatically signals to you that I am serious about what I'm asking. Right? So there are 4 major things I usually say. Be very specific as regards whatever you are asking. Ask somebody that can actually help you. Not all your friends can help you. So don't put yourself up for disappointment. Create value for the person that you are asking, and then ask confidently. So now, to the other question that you asked, that when is it right to ask for help? Now, to be very honest, I'm still on my journey on trying to build relationships with people. And I'll say there is no really perfect time to ask, because the way you view the depth of the relationship is not the same way the other person might view it. But it is always, I won't say wrong, but then if we are being realistic, if in the first 2 interactions between you and that person, you're already asking for something, you're already showing a level of desperation. But then there are still instances where you can actually reach out to me if we just connected for the first time, you send me a message for help, and I help you. It can actually work. But then courtesy deserves that you actually let that friendship marinate in such a way that you must have benefited from that friend, and the person must have also benefited from you. I did a fundraiser some days back, last year, of $1 million, and I had about 50 people. Now this is I think this is a perfect explanation. In 2024, I did a fundraiser of about 200,000, and the amount of people that donated 200,000, when I checked my back transaction, they were 99. So 99 people came together to donate 200,000. But in 2025, when I did a fundraiser of $1 million, the amount of people that came together to raise that money were not up to 50.
Wow.
So that should explain that if you channel your attention to people who can actually help, you get more. If you channel your attention to people who are in a position to help you, you get more. So it also still explains that you don't necessarily need 1 million people to support you. You just need the people who are in the right position to help. Somebody dropped 50K. I think about 10 of my friends dropped 50,000. We had somebody that dropped 250,000. And all of the transactions just came up to $1 million. So that is. But then all of the acts that I made were very bold. I reached out and I'm like, hello, Bolu, I need your support. We need to raise money for this. And this is why. Don't leave the person. If I come to you and I ask for support, the message I'm going to send to you would answer all of your questions before you even think of them. So that it doesn't look like you're like, okay, why you need 20K? Okay, this is what I am doing and I need your support for this so that you can help me. And I also let you know that as much as I'm the one pioneering this, it is still for the greater good. it is still what in a means to what contribute to more people. Now, for the fundraiser that I also shared, I can count at least 10 different people that I actually sent. I even sent a message to my PPA boss, and I did not get a response to that particular message. But then the next day, he sent me a message and I was like, Kamiye, you need to do this. And so he intentionally saw the message and he did not respond. And he was also is in the right position to also help. So the fact that I can come here and share all of this does not mean it is a perfect framework for you to get all of what you want. But like I said, you need to keep the axe alive. Yes, I think that's the fifth one. That is the fifth principle in the secret of how to get whatever you want. The first one is ask specifically, ask somebody that can help you, create value for the person that you are asking, ask confidently, and ensure that you keep that axe alive. So if I reach out to Mr. A and I don't get that support, that's not the end of the road. You understand? So that's like my own take on what it takes to getting whatever you want. I don't know if you can recap on the second question. I think I missed it.
Yeah. Well, this time around, you just have to just say the statement. So because of our time. So the question is that how do you strategically expand your influence in 1 minute and less?
Okay. I'll divide it into 3. For people who are around me, that's people of my rank, core members, recent graduates. I just try to create opportunities for us to partner. That's the easiest strategy that I have. For mentors, I actually personally reach out to these people. And I've realized that this whole ideology of saying, I want you to be my mentor doesn't work. So I try to put my place in positions where I can learn from them and probably just have them close by. And then for people who are beneath me, not beneath me basically, but people who are not yet up to me, that's one of the benefits of my community. I just try to gather people like that and keep them in touch.
Well, Kamiye, thank you, man. Very low value to us today. Our noses are full, our brains are swelling. I mean, it's a lot of value. So I just want to welcome a few people to maybe add comments, ask questions, but obviously we're out of time already. But if you have a question or comment, kindly raise up your hand so I can call on you. Anybody with a question, a comment? In this call, on this call, we have a lot of intellectuals. Like we have a lot of people that know a lot. Like I won't cap about that. Yes, if you have a comment, you are free to disagree. You are free to agree. Please kindly raise up your hand or just unmute your mic and speak. We're out of time already. Anyone? My book is here. Anybody? Okay, in the absence of no question, but you can still drop your question and raise up your hand. Kamiye, thank you very much. What can we give you now? How can we add value in return? Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I knew one of the things I wanted to do this year is not just to talk, is to invite those practically people I know. I'm not interested in, or let me say, currently I'm not having a plan to go to the moon to get someone to share insights with us. People that we know, both my circle and many people's circle here, that we could just have a conversation with. And I've been very blessed tonight, learning from you. My note is full. I won't lie to you. It's been a lot learning and learning from your unique point of view, a practical way of getting results. And it's been very insightful. Thank you. I'll personally reach out to you also. I'm very, very grateful. So I'll just welcome Kamiye to introduce what he does. I know he has introduced himself as founder of A Better You, but what do you do? How can we benefit in maybe 2 minutes before we close tonight?
All right. My life is centered around public speaking and leadership. If you go to my LinkedIn, I kept on my LinkedIn. I'm a project manager. I love to talk about leadership, and all of the things I do center around that. So I'm currently the lead of a community that I founded about 4 years ago called A Better You. And the sole purpose of the community is to keep people accountable to their goals and create opportunities for them to prioritize self-leadership. So if you have goals, if you have things that you want to do and you need a little bit of accountability and teachings on how to help yourself become better, like the name of the community, that is an opportunity for you to be a part of it. And other than that, I love to talk about leadership. Leadership has really changed my life, and opportunities that prioritize leadership. So for speaking engagement, for consultancy, for coaching, leadership is something I really love to talk about. So that's basically all of that. Thank you so much.
Yeah. So what does it take to join a community? Are you taking people?
Yeah. We have slots that are open, and it's a paid membership community. So once you subscribe to the community, you subscribe for a whole year. So if you're subscribing now, that we're in February till next year, January. And if you need more details, you can just reach out. I'll send you all of that.
Okay.
Yes.
So how can we reach out to you?
Let me drop my contact details here.
Yeah, absolutely. You can drop your contact details. So when I come here dropping his contact details, please, I want you to appreciate him. If you learned something tonight, please, just share appreciation, maybe a clap, thank you, whatever emoji. I don't know. How best can we appreciate Kamiye? Kamiye, thank you. Like, we're really, really grateful. We're really, really grateful. Learning from you so much of a blessing to me. I can't to summarize this now. I have to sit down and synthesize because it's extremely loaded. Thank you very much. Let me take a moment to appreciate everyone around the tonight's call. I know it's been a lot of commitment, staying late to this time, but I believe it's been of tremendous value. I hope it's not been a waste. Yeah. Thank you, everyone. So I will just say thank you, Precious. Thank you for coming.
What was my foot?
Yeah, what do you say?
Is it like?
I didn't hear you. Kamiye, are you saying something?
No.
Okay. So I'll just take a roll call. Timmy, thank you. Precious, thank you. Oyelade, thank you. Bukumi, thank you. Kefas, good to see you. John, thank you for coming. Jason Leke, Emmanuel, I appreciate you. Glory, Adiola, thank you for coming. Eniola, Olowo, our sister supporting. Thank you. Good to see you, Manuela. Wow, been a long time. How are you? Good to see you. Dennis, thank you for coming. Deborah, appreciate your presence. Ayomide, thank you. Patience, good to see you. Hope you learned something. Thank you. Esther Akisulu, thank you. Adikule Esther, thank you for coming. And Abigail Oluremi, thank you for coming. So that's all for tonight. We'll meet again the last Sunday of the month of March for our next retreat. Our next retreat will focus more on entrepreneurship, on turning ideas into products, on being self-resourceful and transforming our world. I hope you'll be there. So further details will be shared across our emails and on all our social media platforms. I appreciate you once again for being a part of this. And I hope you learned a lot. I hope you do something what you learned. And see you again next month. Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye. Kamiye, special appreciation. Bye-bye, everyone. Have a nice Sunday evening. Take care.